The moment the screen flashed,
Yeah.
the world kind of split.
Yeah.
You had one headline screaming, tragedy, and the other announcing this massive triumph.
Yeah, it was September 29th, 2025, 19 years of marriage, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, the split goes public. And that initial story, painfully predictable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You had sources talking to people, painting that, classic Hollywood picture, right?
Yeah.
The blindsided star who apparently didn't want the breakup.
The expectation was she'd retreat, mourn, maybe disappear for 6 months, that whole playbook.
Mm-hmm.
But that script, torn up almost immediately. What we saw next was, arguably one of the most masterful displays of controlling the public narrative we've seen, ever.
A personal crisis just instantly flipping into this huge professional coronation. It was something else.
Yeah.
Welcome to Starscope Report. We are diving deep into the headline that really dominated that fall. How Nicole Kidman outsmarted Hollywood after the split.
We're looking at the sources, the style, the sheer strategy that turned what could have been a devastating personal blow into this powerful blueprint for, resilience.
We're talking Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, those viral moments that define pop culture.
And our mission today, to trace every single deliberate, often quiet step Kidman took. How she shifted her whole public identity from just newly single to, undisputed, enduring icon.
Okay, let's unpack the timeline because the speed here is really, really key.
Yeah.
She formally filed for divorce in Nashville. That was September 30th, 2025.
Right. And just 6 days later,
Yes.
she makes her first major, very high visibility statement.
6 days. That decision alone feels strategic, doesn't it?
Right.
There was no hiding.
None. Her re-emergence, October 6th, 2025. Chanel Spring-Summer 2026 show, Paris Fashion Week. This wasn't some tentative little step out. This was like Chapter 2 opening, bam.
And the power of that first image was all about family. She arrived holding hands with her daughters, Sunday Rose, she's 17, and Faith Margaret, 14.
That simple gesture, holding her daughter's hands, it immediately centered her. Protector. Mother.
Yeah.
It signaled her core identity was that. Not wife. And that move, it just made it impossible for the press to frame her only as some tragic victim. It was clear boundary setting right from the jump.
And then there's the outfit, the sartorial strategy, also just meticulously planned. You'd almost expect the big dramatic, look at me revenge dress, right? The visual shout.
Yeah, exactly. But she went the other way. Total opposite. Control through, understatement. A crisp, white, button-down, baggy cashmere jeans.
Boob called it very chic and simple.
Yeah.
It just radiated this luxurious groundedness, a quiet power move.
It projected stability, didn't it? She looked effortlessly in command, which is the total visual counter-narrative to fragility or being blindsided.
Looked like she had it handled, even with this seismic personal thing happening behind the scenes.
And we absolutely cannot overlook the Breakup Bangs, that phenomenon. The media focus instantly, intensely on her new wispy fringe, styled by a dear Abergel. The public just grabbed onto that subtle change and ran with it. Shorthand for internal renewal.
Well, it's the public projecting, isn't it?
Yeah.
They want to see that strength externally. Yeah. And a new haircut, especially one with that perfect French girl cool. It's the universal signal for new phase of life starting now.
But what makes it really human, I think, is the contrast between that absolute composure we saw on the runway and what was captured in a behind-the-scenes Vogue video.
Right.
Just before she stepped out into all those flashes, she confessed, I'm just very nervous.
And that one little admission, it changes everything. It reframes the whole appearance. It's not indifference, it's profound courage.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't just walking a runway. She was performing dignity under immense pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That vulnerability, I think it elevated her, moved her beyond just star to something more inspirational.
Exactly. And that quiet determination, that resolve to just face it head on, that's precisely what allowed her to pull off the next move. The definitive professional maneuver that truly, truly changed the headlines.
Which sets us up perfectly for the next part.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Paris was the narrative reset, what she announced that same day was the ultimate strategic play.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, wait till you hear how she basically guaranteed no newspaper could lead with the divorce drama.
The audacity of the timing, that's what makes it a masterstroke. October 6th. She's photographed in Paris, hands held with her daughters, showing personal control, and then, simultaneously, boom, the professional news drops.
Shocking fact. Same day, confirmed by Women's Wear Daily, she is officially named Chanel's newest global ambassador.
That right there, that's the ultimate headline hijack. The press suddenly has two massive stories breaking at the exact same moment. They couldn't just run with heartbroken Kidman steps out. No way.
They had to split it. Chanel's new ambassador, Nicole Kidman, attends her first show. She proactively defined herself by her professional value, not her marital status. Just brilliant.
But hang on, couldn't that have backfired? I mean, announcing this huge corporate deal right then could have looked cold, maybe calculated when she's supposed to be vulnerable.
That's the risk, absolutely. High stakes.
Yeah.
But the genius is why Chanel, they didn't just announce a deal, they leveraged the past, the history.
Exactly. They framed it as a homecoming, pointing right back to her iconic 2004 Chanel No. 5 campaign, the Baz Luhrmann one.
Ah, the narrative synergy. Clever.
Totally. Chanel means timelessness, enduring luxury, legacy. So by aligning with that brand right then, she wasn't just signing a contract. She was asserting that she, like Chanel, has enduring prestige.
So she wasn't starting over. She was returning to this powerful, established legacy she already had. It turned potential weakness into this undeniable statement of professional power, ascendancy. Then, one day later, October 7th, she uses social media for the first time since the split announcement. Controlled communication.
Yeah.
Her Instagram post. Short, chic, powerful.
19 words. That was
Sorry.
it. A carousel of photos, her girls, Baz Luhrmann, and the caption. Pure gratitude, professionalism, family. Thank you at Chain Official for having me in my girls' store. So excited to be a part of it with you. End of story.
That brevity was just stone-cold genius for setting boundaries. There's this one fan comment on X, formerly Twitter, that just nailed the mood. They said, first she served the divorce paper, and then she served face.
Perfect. It shows people got it.
Yeah.
They understood this was deliberate, defining herself.
Yeah.
And this whole philosophy, this professionalism, it got reinforced by what sources told people, this honoring commitments idea.
Right. The quote was something like, Nicole is honoring her work commitments, as is Keith.
Exactly. Which framed all her public stuff, like that low-key M4 appearance just days before Paris, as principled professional actions, not emotional reactions. Took the drama right out of it.
Okay. If you're loving this deep dive into strategic Hollywood moves and these, frankly, unexpected twists, make sure you're subscribed. We have got way crazier stories coming up.
Because we really need to talk about the sort of deeper, maybe theoretical reason why all this ambition might have been bubbling up even before the split.
The Pollock definitely validated her pivot, though. Her re-emergence instantly sparked that whole viral breakup glow narrative.
Oh, completely. Her social media was flooded. Single looks good on you, mama. Keith who? She became this, source of vicarious empowerment for tons of people.
And this is where history makes a cameo, right? The public, especially online, immediately connected now to back then, which led to that 24-year-old quote going viral all over again.
The David Letterman moment. After the Tom Cruise divorce.
Well, I can wear heels now.
Yes. That clip was everywhere, side by side with the new Paris photos. It became this instant viral shorthand for, regaining freedom, confidence, a woman deciding literally and figuratively not to shrink herself for a partner.
And that idea, expanding her stature, it leads us right into maybe the most shocking twist in this whole story, the catalyst narrative.
Right. This counter-argument started popping up, cited in places like Fox News from expert commentary, suggesting her incredible run of demanding roles.
Roles like the erotic thriller, Baby Girl, The Perfect Couple, really boundary-pushing stuff.
Exactly. That maybe that work, that ambition, was actually the catalyst for the marital strain, not just a consequence of it.
Whoa. Okay, that flips the entire power dynamic.
Completely. Instead of her being a victim who reacts by throwing herself into work, she's potentially the initiator. This powerful force whose career acceleration, whose expanding ambition maybe just outpaced her domestic dynamic, as one source put it.
So the comeback wasn't a defense mechanism. It was just
the
continuation of this unstoppable professional momentum that maybe required a change in her personal life.
Could be. It's a compelling theory.
And this whole strategic blueprint resilience, expanding ambition, it all kind of culminated in January 2026. Her appearance at the Golden Globes, 82nd annual Golden Globes, nominated for Baby Girl.
Yeah.
That felt like the ultimate visual declaration.
Oh, absolutely. The red carpet reign. If Paris was that soft, protective cashmere armor, the Globes, that was glittering, offensive armor. That custom Balenciaga gown, pure spectacle. Silver, crystal rhinestone mesh, twisted one shoulder, and completely backless.
It was just unapologetic glamour, a seriously daring high fashion choice. And that look, it definitively moved her. From the protective mom in denim to this formidable icon commanding the entire industry, peak visibility, peak power.
And the backless design is so key there. It really embodies her own philosophy, right? Something she said in a Vogue interview about fashion being armor, and sometimes a screw you statement.
Right.
That Balenciaga wasn't about hiding, it was about dazzling, turning her vulnerability, her back into this glittering focal point. It felt like this calculated, triumphant embrace of her new singular status.
What's just fascinating is how seamless the whole story felt. She provided this, definitive blueprint for the modern matriarch, rejected the expected tragedy script, authored her own narrative, defined by professional excellence, self-command.
It was all so meticulously planned. You see the transition. Nervous, soft-armored mother in Paris to formidable, backless icon at the Globes, a rapid, masterful evolution, showing everyone she was the sole author of her future.
A story told in 6 days, really culminating over 4 months. Incredible.
The lesson here, I think, for everyone listening, her strategy wasn't just look good after a split. It was about using that intense public spotlight on the personal to launch an even more powerful, enduring professional brand. She leveraged the crisis for control, utter control.
So the provocative thought we want to leave you with is this. Given the sheer intensity of her professional drive and how incredibly successful that narrative became, did the split happen despite her work? Or was it maybe a necessary condition for her ultimate artistic freedom and expansion?
Something to think about.
Stay tuned, and definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.